some things went down, and then some things didn't go down, and I was pretty happy. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 4, episode 11 of Queen Sugar. There were some things that just did not happen in this episode that were supposed to happen, and there were some things that did happen. And some of them I'm happy about. Flat out, we can start right off with the fact of it was prom. We start off with this prom. Kiki looked so pretty, and even Micah looked nice, and they were all ready and geared up, and they were going, getting themselves together to go. They were taking their pictures, and all of the stuff that goes along with the prom. It's always fun. So I've gone through proms and weddings with many, many people, and it's always just a good time. It's a good, proud time. So that always just kind of, I like that for those scenes. I'm like, all right, little promenade and stuff. So it was cute, and she really did look pretty. I loved her ruffles, and come on through, Miss Kiki. And long story short, the kids went off, and I think that I've gotten to the point with Queen Sugar like I did with Pose. If any of you have actually watched my Pose reviews, with Queen Sugar, it has that kind of thing like Good Times. No matter how good the episode is, it don't carry through to the end. You're always waiting on the shoe to drop. So I was kind of anxious, and I was saying, oh God, okay, so they're going to the prom, and I'm like, something bad is going to happen. So I'm I've got myself geared that something bad is going to happen. And as much as I kept trying to talk myself up to it, I just wasn't ready for anything bad to happen. And then that's what we start seeing. There was this really bad thunderstorm and all of this. And the kids, they went out. They got to the hotel or whatever. And then the rain had started. And then flooding had started. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, I don't know where y'all carrying me to with this. But I was just anxious. But all in all, the prom ended up being canceled. So the prom didn't even happen. So I was like, that has got to be devastating. To have gotten yourself ready for prom, gotten dressed, spent all this money, left the house, and the damn prom is canceled. Like, for the parents and the kids, devastating. And I understand people who live in the South, like in Louisiana, they're used to inclement weather and that kind of thing. But that is just, I was devastated. Sitting here like, I can't even imagine. But at any rate, they end up stuck there. And I got to give Kiki her props, because even with that, I felt like it was gearing up to, like, it's like, okay, well, they ain't got nothing else to do. So now they definitely going to get down with that get down. And for some reason, I just really didn't feel like Kiki was, I felt like she was rushing into this. And the more the episode went on, the better off it got. She didn't end up losing her virginity. And Micah ended up telling her at one point, we could take it as long as you need. It is what it is, And it was a good thing because they had nothing to do, so they're all just sitting around. It's the two little guys that Micah hangs out with all the time and the little girl, and also Kiki. And they're all sitting, and each of the kids are going around and they're saying exactly what their plans are, and their plans are moving. Like their plans are there, they're moving forward. I'm going to this school, I'm going to school for this is my major, this is the plan when I finish. And they went around the room and they get to Micah. Micah don't know what the hell's going. Micah's just a brat. You've had all this other shit going on around you, Micah, to the point that now you literally, I sat and I was just floored. You have sat here and you're the little rich kid. So we always just thought you had it together. We just took for granted that Micah had it together. Micah's future was all laid out. Micah don't know what the hell's going on. Micah's going to school for photography, but he talking about he don't really know if he really like it all that much. And I'll probably just end up doing investment loans and no, Micah, you need to do some soul searching. All this time that you ran around dealing with this PTSD and all this anger and all this extra shit you got going on, you need to be figuring out what you want to do with your life, sweetie, because life has just begun. Life began the day that you took your finals. Real life has kicked in. And you mean to tell me you don't even have a direction? No, Kiki. Micah's not the person to lose your virginity to. Hold on to it. I was sitting there like, oh no, ma'am. You need not part your legs for this fool. At all. Good kid, come from a good family. Money ain't everything. Micah don't have it going on. Micah don't know what's going on with Micah. Micah got to figure Micah out. Don't you part your legs for Micah. Not at all. So I was like so happy that just didn't go down. Don't be tainting our Kiki with your bullshit. Bye, Micah. I was so done. And I'm like, I know whenever it comes up that he has this conversation with Charlie, Charlie's going to do a backflip over the couch. Like I can't even imagine what that conversation is going to look like. But that was eye-opening and that was very interesting to me. I was just like, are you kidding me? Okay. Anyway, okay, so let's go on over to the next thing. Let's go on. Wear Me Thin. Ralph Angel and Deja. Deja, you could tell just by looking at her. Something in the way you make me feel. She knows something ain't right. Because it's called women's intuition. That's what it's called. She knows something ain't 100% because he moving funny. That's that other little saying people say. Ralph Angel, your ass is moving funny. And Deja, her most beautiful self, honey, she's like, what's going on? You all right? I was like, he ain't all right, but he ain't all right. No, he's not all right. Anyway, we're gonna come back to it, okay? So we see Charlie and we see Nova. And Nova has this book. And she gives Charlie this book and she says, feel free to use this. It will help you during the debate against Jacob Boudreaux. I said, this is what I'm talking about. So I got all excited. So, with all the turmoil that's been going on, I am team sister all the way. I am team hashtag these two sisters. Nova and Charlie together is a force. They're a whole movement, baby. Listen. You get Nova and Charlie together and they after your ass, you got a problem. When they on one accord, and I was here, I said, "Oh, Jacob, you get ready to get some shit, baby. They get ready to bust your knees, dude." So I was like here for it. I'm so happy. I didn't know it was in the book, but it came from Nova and Nova messy, so I knew it was something good. I said, "Come on with it." After that, we had seen that Jacob was like trying to call Charlie. I'm like, get out of here. Nobody consorting and conversating. That's not a word, is it? Conversating, conversing with the enemy. You are the enemy. Okay? You, not directly, because Charlie kind of like Jacob, they cool. But your mammy, you belong to that whore and you enemy. Because his mother she is the snake from out of the Garden of Eden, and she's snake hunting. Anyway, so she's down and she's like doing her little walkthrough. They give you time at the debate site to do your little walkthrough and everything. So she's down there doing her time. He gonna slide up in there on her, and basically coming in there to warn her about his mother's personal vendetta and how personal it has gotten. And she had a few choice words to say, and he says, "This is not arrogance that you're seeing, Charlie. This is power. It's power." I was like, "No, what it is more threats, Jacob. What are you really saying?" Now, we got the whole storm going on, so now they end up stuck there, actually, together, because it had gotten so bad, they were just kind of stuck, so they were going to have to end up talking. Baby, that conversation, I was so here for it. When Jacob was saying, something about his upbringing and all this bullshit. And she took her phone, baby, and clicked that on. And see, this is the good. This is the good punch. Laid that phone down and let him listen to his mother talking all that old shit she was talking. And that little meeting they had. I said, now listen to Miss Francis and her nasty little self. And Jacob was just done. Like, he's sitting there like, because he's different. He is cut, and it's more true than what we thought. I've always said he's cut from a different cloth, literally. And he is like listening, and he was disgusted. He really was. He was disgusted. She said, "You still want to talk about the way you were raised? If you didn't listen to your mother, all but basically call her a nigger." Because that's all she didn't say. That's what she meant. That's all she didn't say. I said, he was disgusted. So as it moved on, he says, I can't just pull out of the race, Charlie. I mean, there's no way for me to actually do that. I can't just pull out. And he said, but maybe I can help by throwing the race. Now, I got very nervous at this point. I got very nervous. As I was saying, Charlie, I start questioning her because then she shared the information in the book with him, and I was like, Charlie, no. I didn't trust it, and I was just like, I don't know, because again, you're always waiting on that shoe to fall out. I said, why are you sharing this with him? And I was like, okay, so we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna come back to it. Okay, so let's go over to Vi's house. Vi's over there with Hollywood, and Vi's been in such a state that Hollywood has been walking around on pins and needles. You got to watch everything you say. And he was telling her, I got you a helmet, to go with the motorcycle. She's like, boy, I'm not getting on a goddamn motorcycle, and I done told you, I'm never getting on that motorcycle. He's like, oh, you just no fun, Vi. She's like, oh, I'm no fun, and he's like, no. I didn't mean it like that, Violet. I was like, all this walking on eggshells. And she's like, no. So I'm no fun, is what you said. And then Violet said, Alexa, turn on Vi's playlist. I said, come on, Aunt Vi, with your Alexa. I said, you've been hanging out with your little Latino friend. He done taught you some stuff, a lot of little gadget friendly stuff. She calling on Alexa to turn on the music, baby. Then she would take her clothes off, and then she gave Hollywood a little something, something, honey, while the rain was coming down. I said, "Well, go on, Violet." So I laughed at that. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Let's go back over to Isha's house. This whole little thing, I was already prepared for this. I thought it was going to break my heart because I am Team Deja. I'm Team Deja and Team Joie all the way. I think I like Deja and Joie more than I like Raw and Blue. But anyway, he tells her, "I haven't been honest with you. I haven't been 100% honest with you. I've been going to see Darla every day for the past 2 weeks." Really? Really? And Deja, she did better than me. Because I started throwing dishes around, but she didn't. Because Deja's that bad. Because she's bad. She's bad. Sharp. And she bad. And she knows what she working with. Okay? Because she looks in the mirror. And she got it going on. And she got it going on in life, too. So she, okay. I said, "Come on through." She said, "All right." And then he told her, "I'm still in love with Darla." I said, "Okay." Baby, that Deja held her head up, baby. She was so goddamn smooth with this shit and told him, "I wish you the best. I wish Darla the best and Blue. We'll work something out with the kids." That means, child, we ain't fucking with you all no more, honey. But we'll work something out with the kids. Yeah. And there's no, she didn't tell him there was no return, but you can see it all over her face. There's no return. This is over. This is done. This is done. Um, you could see the hurt in her face, but she was so goddamn smooth with it. I was like, bad bald head bitch. I was here for it, and she walked on off, baby. And I was like, how did you just stand? You just stood in her kitchen and dropped that on her after she parted her legs for you, because it took a while. You know, she's a bad bitch. It took a while before you even got to the point where she actually parted her legs for you. We got through all of that. She done helped you out with it. She had put herself all the way out there. And as she got all the way out there, this is what you come back with, Ralph Angel? For real? Okay. Cool. And I think this is going to really shake y'all. The rest of this review is going to shake y'all. It is. It is, because I've had a change of heart. I've had a change of heart. Anyway, let's get out of Deja's house. Let's go over Nova's house. See, Nova was actually, she was meeting with this after this is earlier on, before she actually had went over. You know, when I told y'all she had given the information to Charlie and all that, she had got a phone call, and then she went on over to see, because it was Calvin, and Calvin got reined in over at Nova's house, and they went on and busted wide on open the way they used to. He put her up on the countertop and bust her down, Annie, and then finished her off in the bed, Annie. I said, "Come on, Calvin." You know, Calvin always bust her down, honey. I said, "Okay." And then he told her, because they were going through the scheduling, and they weren't going to see each other, you know, between him being with his children for 2 weeks and this, that, the other, and then all this moving around. He wasn't going to see her for 5 weeks, and all this kind of carried on. And then he just bust down and told her after he had bust her down, "You know, I want to move back to Baton Rouge to be with you. Please say yes." I said, "Say yes, Nova. Because all this other stuff that you've been doing, child, we want Calvin. Just go on and say yes." Go on. Let something in your life be right. You're trying to get things back on track. Let something in your life be consistent and let it be correct. So that was that. She didn't say anything, but I think she's gonna do the right thing. Okay, so dig this. Let's go over Darla's house. Ralph Angel, and I'm gonna tell you right at this point where I told you I had a change of heart. I've had a change of heart. Ralph Angel sitting over there with Darla, and I was watching her. And this is the time where I would generally drag Darla. I would drag her because yes, you're going through some things that you're going through whatever you're going through. You've relapsed and all of that. You've having your problems. He done took the baby over to your mother's house, and you're going through what you're going through. No problem with that. I got no problem with that. It is what it is. It's a disease, and I understand. I understand. But again, and I want to say this because even with me doing, I'm going to jump off topic for a minute. With me doing this review, and then this week, I was in the YouTube streets in my travels, and I encountered some people who I actually care for. And of course, I'm not going to go back on what it is I feel. And I get a lot of flack about how I go at Darla with the whole crackhead thing. Okay. And there's some people who I care for, who are YouTubers, who are watchers, who they don't agree with me, but I want to make it very clear. I don't want you to feel as though I am judging people who have the past that Darla has, because everybody is individual. Okay? Everyone is individual. So all people who have drug addictions, I don't feel the way that I feel about Darla. Okay? So I want to make that very clear. Okay? And I'm going to say the person who I'm actually, the one person that actually prompted me to speak about it in this video is Timothy Blaine. Timothy Blaine, I've shouted Mr. Tim out many, many times on my channel, and you all know I care for Timothy Blaine. I really do like Timothy Blaine. I really have great respect for Timothy Blaine. And I would never want Mr. Blaine to feel the venom coming from me that I give to Darla, because his past is kind of, he has a few checkers in his past that are some of the checkers that she has on her playing board. Okay. Everybody is individual. And I don't feel the way that I feel about Darla about Timothy Blaine. I do not. I do not at all. So, he had said something in a review, and then I know my protege, which is really BTV, she definitely disagrees with me, and her past is not that. It just the way I go at Darla bothers her. But again, you need to know that the way I'm going at Darla is actually for Darla. It is for Darla. And when I say I know people like Darla, there are people who are like Darla that I'm actually going. My kid's mother is a lot like Darla. Some of the same moves. When I say the things I say, I feel that way about her as I feel about Darla. I don't feel that way about Mr. Tim. Mr. Tim's walk is different. Mr. Tim's situation, the story is different. Now, my kid's mother, her walk and movement is very much parallel with Darla. All that slick shit and some of that little stuff that she does, it's yeah, it's really for her. That the venom is for the character and the way the character is written. You must understand how I see the character. It's not people who are battling drug addiction as a whole. It is that character. Okay. And I just gave you a real life person who has that same character that I've had personal dealings with, which drives me to be that way. Okay. So I hope that kind of clears it up because I don't. And I know that Mr. Blaine watches me. I don't want you to walk away feeling as though, I just have that type of vitriol or that type of venom toward anybody and everybody who has ever had a drug addiction, because I do not. So this is that, and I hate to sound cliche, but those bullets were not for you, Mr. Blaine. Those bullets were not for you, really, BTV, and any of my other people who has felt that wrath. It truly is not for you. It is truly for the character. When I'm in this, I'm in this. Yes, that's why y'all watch my reviews, because I do talk about these people like they are real people. Okay, so just leave it in the character and just just listen to what I'm saying to you. Just listen to what I'm saying to you, okay? But that's that. Okay. But boom, boom, bam it, and I'm back. Now let me finish with Darla. Now, back to Darla, this whore. I'm watching her. And even in the midst of you doing all of this, and I hadn't told you, okay, you messed up, you got to get it fixed up, you got to get it cleared up. Cool. No problem. I got a problem with that. That you done did what you're gonna do, and the reason you messed up is because you are hard headed, and you're not following. You went through. You learned the steps of the program. You didn't follow the steps of the program. The reason you went through what you went through is because you wanted to do things your way, and now you done fucked up. Okay, so that's that. So you done fucked up, but you ain't got off of the Darla trail. You still are manipulative ass Darla. Raggedy bitch. And I sat there and I watched you trying to talk Ralph Angel back to you. Knowing that you got the little boyfriend, because he done went on and went on about his way because you done fucked your shit up. So now you're willingly gonna fuck up Ralph Angel shit. See, that's the shit I'm talking about. That's the stuff I don't care for. This is why I be riding Darla like a damn dolphin, because you fucked your shit up. You fucked your set up. Now you're gonna make my CD skip. Really? Willingly. And that has nothing to do with crack addiction. That has nothing to do with alcohol addiction. That has to do with being a manipulative bitch, a self-centered bitch. That's what that has to do with. I want what I want, and I don't care how it affects you or who gets hurt in the process. That's what that has to do with. And these are the reasons why I don't like that goddamn Darla. Because I see her, and I've always seen her. But whatever. So I'm going to tell you, I had a change of heart. Now, the change of heart is not that I'm not going to be mad at Darla anymore, that I'm not going to ride Darla anymore. I still don't like Darla. But the change of heart is I'm mad at Ralph Angel at this point, okay? Very, very angry with Ralph Angel. And at this point, I don't care what Darla does to you. I really don't care. I hope you the best with this, because you're soft, Ralph Angel. You're soft, and she's going to drag your ass. And she is toxic, and the two of you together is a toxic mix. I won't pray for Blue, because I still love Blue, but I don't give a shit about Darla nor Ralph Angel. Whatever Darla does to Ralph Angel from this point going forward is what you get. And you can put it on karma, because what you did to Deja wasn't cool. And it was unnecessary. And you let this scuttlebug lure you back in. Whatever she gives you, you deserve it. Moving on. Okay, so last thing. So Charlie calls Nova and tell her turn on screen, get on the screen, and Jacob is actually doing this press conference. Jacob is actually pulling out of the actual debate that was scheduled. And he's on there and he starts saying that he's going to actually take and he's going to, with recent things that he's found out, he's found out about some things that weren't being run properly on his side of things with the Boudreaux and Landrys and all of this, and that he's definitely going to be pulling in some people to do some scampering through their records and make sure that everybody is getting what they're supposed to get. And he's going to clean those things up because he wants to run things correctly and all of this. Okay. And I'm like, all of that sounds nice. All that sounds nice. And then that's when Charlie said, wait for it. Baby, and he dropped a bomb, honey, and admitted right there on TV, honey, that his great-grandmother, he found out that his great-grandmother is an African-American woman. I said, shut up. Like I said, cut from a different cloth. And not only that, his great-grandmother is an African-American woman, which means that his mother was messing around with, it had to be a mulatto man. Like you call Charlie mulatto. So you done messed with a mixed boy. And you done messed around and had Jacob. And that's why Jacob is different than you all. Because there's some black blood running around in Jacob. I said, see how genes are? Like genes, like you can't do anything with genes, the actual gene pool. See, Mother Nature always takes over. It don't matter how far down the line it is, it done tainted the blood. It just didn't come out in his hair and all of that, but it's in there. It's all up in his thought process and all in his genes, honey. I said, oh, and wait, it gets better. That black woman who was his great-grandmother is a member of the Bordelon family. I said, oh, stop. So they're like distant cousins. I said, you got to be kidding. You have got to be kidding. I said, baby, listen, Ava, girl, you really just stirred the pot, honey. I said, oh my. And then we turned around and Nova's like, well, I'm nervous, Charlie. I don't know. I still, that may not. She's like, mm-mm. She said, pay attention down because, see, he's getting ready to lose all of his true racist votes. He's going to lose them because now, when they find out you got one drop of black blood, your ass is black. You're black. You get right in the end line with the rest of them, honey. That's just the way that is. A true racist, yeah. He's going to lose all their votes. And then the black folks who are questionable, probably going to lose them too. And that's going to be enough to sway so possibly Charlie can actually win the election. I said, interesting. And like Nova said, this is risky. You know that the Boudreaux and Landrys do not like losing. And that's what Charlie said. And neither do I. I'll see y'all next week. It was going down. Down. I told you I'm Team Nova and Charlie together. Listen. 2 more episodes left this season. I can't wait. But yeah, I'm done with that whole Darla and Ralph Angel thing. Pray for Blue, y'all.